start screen. That's it. Now just.
Yep. Very good. I don't know if you're hungry. You tell me who's show me that front of the second blues. Facebook? On text? Slow as fire. Yo! Oh. Thank you very much. Yep, no worry. I'll go check them out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look at that. Cheers.
And there's still another one.
Look at that. They've been donated stores of clothes. I love it. Bridget just kept me out of clothing stores for years now. Oh, for at least a year. Had an accusing in the town. Haven't been seen it number 11. Do I already have an idea? Glenorchy. Over 30 to 9. We have no
try we have no Kingborough again. Savage 6. William Smith is 4. Stamps is 1. In the game, and we avoid Evan up 34.
No Barry Moore for the 27.
No, he's not. No Terry. No Chad. No Matthew Young.
Set the active track and the ref and follows the.
Yeah.
Good if it stays like that the whole game.
We've got no Simsy. Or do we have a Sims?
No Sims.
No Sims at all. We are live. Tip off in possession to Boyd Heather of the Spartans. Stanwich controls the ball out to Heather in the corner, closely guarded by Simpson. Smith. Now to Tuffin, gives it back to Smith. Takes the drive, forearm, step back. That's not called, that's a dirty bank for 2. Smitty opens the account here for the Spartans. Elijah down the low block, wants to respond, misses. That's the rebound there by the Kings, that's another miss. And rebound there by Marston. Heather again on Simpson's big matchup. Good defense there by Bresnia.
Mason.
By Mason, that's it. Oh, lovely drive. Well done to Michael Klaxis. Played a lovely game last week and he's playing a lovely game so far tonight. Stanwicks on Pawson, another key matchup. Pawson dribble, pick up. Smith with the ball, defended by Klaxis. Wants that drive. He's going to step back again. And out to Marston. That's on the floor, that call. That one is on our friend, the big fella as he was named last week, Greg Dolliver. Apologies to Greg if I get the name right last week, but we're sure as hell going tonight. Boyd Heather down the low block again with Simpson. Stanwich uses the screen for the 3. That's a miss and that's off the backboard and that is out of bounds. That will be King's ball. Noticeably for tonight we have the absence of Trey and Terry, 2 key players for both sides. We also have Moo, who probably looking at getting back on the side next week, certainly looking for super selection this week. Dolliver goes to work down low, gives to Lucas outside. It's going to be probably a high post option this week. There it is. That's a lovely block by Smith. Hustle rebound there by Dolly. Let's give the pass to Klaxis, who's stepped out of bounds and the pass to Pawson, and that will be Spartans' ball. It is 2-2 with 8:04 remaining in the first quarter. There we go, that is a nice score there by Mr. Marston. Perhaps just come up the court again, he wants that basket, and they're just going to avoid the half-court turnover there. This would be our first 2 points there for the Kings. Looking for another score, the Kings get it even, they have through Lucas Simpson. Been absolutely crucial so far. In their last game, had 16 points versus United in the loss. Average 18.7 a game along with trade this year. We've got foul call on the outside baseline. That'll be King's ball. Foul on number 9 on Stanwich. He's not too happy about that. Inbound pass to the Kings by Mason. Pass to Klaxis. He approaching on the D. Forces the stop, the dolly at the top. He's gone the Past the backdoor cut, it wasn't there, and he's tossing it out of bounds. Boyd will inbound the ball for the Spartans. Stanwick's looking to carry the load now too. He's not here. He's had certainly a good season. Probably not the MVP season he had last season, but he's not doing too bad. All 4 seasons in one sentence there as he looks to pass out. A beautiful pass to Boyd under the hoop. Just not going to quite work there with the big fella. Forced the turnover. Claps this out to Mason. Brennan out to Bresnan. Sorry, out to Simpson. Out to Clappers. Heavily guarded by Smith. He gives out to Simpson at the 3. He's missed. Solid rebounding there by the Spartans, Brad Tuffin. Smitty back up the court. Not running as well as he was the other week around Salamanca, but he's doing pretty well. The 1-2 there with Stanwick. Hits the 3-point line, the dump down. Marston still with the ball there, back to Smith. Oliver with a slight angle turn there. He's created a bit of space in the mid-range. Smith's missed it, Dolly's got the rebound. Out the Clapses, he's used the hesitation step, he's got round him. Unbelievable move there. Stanwick's having a very bad start to this game. His shots, looks a bit nervous, probably wants to get that hair back into place. There it is, he's going to need to help himself there. It's Tuffin. Boyd. Back to the basket, gives it to Smitty. Drives on the screen action, gives it back to Boyd, who's pulled up from the car park. Jammed it, hasn't quite counted, and that's got to be off the Kings, and it is. Substitution being called. Van Sant returning to action after a week suspension. For those of you wondering, Dolver was not suspended through SBL rules due to the fact that it wasn't 2 unsportsmen for the ejection or 2 technicals for the ejection. It was. Tell you what, that pass to go straight off his head to Smitty. It's gone out to Jack. He's passed to Smitty. He's left the gooseneck and he's missed. Awesome with the rebound. It's 1 or 2 situations. Look at this right now. That gave me an interesting call. That's a block. And the block is definitely there on Tuffin, no doubt about that. And, probably would have seen you tossing the game last week, but nonetheless we'll move on from that as Clappers looks to inbound the ball from the Kings in front of their bench. See the young child down there helping out the team this week. Probably a foul that wasn't paid there. Simpson questioning the call. That will be Heather's ball on the baseline. He's given it to Smitty. It's 6-4 with just under 5 minutes. That's gone to Smitty. Good basket there. And that's tied the game at 6-all. Smitty with 4 points. Early on in the piece, there's no doubt about that. Van Sant, the low block again, as we mentioned, coming back following his ejection a few weeks back. Simpson looking for a dump down to Backus, who's thrown the no-look, and there's a beautiful block here by Tuffin. The Smitty's gone the outlet to Stanwicks, has been fouled, no call until late. Nonetheless, call made there, foul on Pawson. That'll be 2 fouls apiece there at the moment. For each side, 4:29 remaining, 6-all. It's a very tight, contested ball game here. Boyd Heather's caught it from beyond the 3-point line. He's a dangerous man, and he's missed. Getting the rebound, he's playing well so far. Back to Boyd, he's passed to Tuffin. Marston looks for the pass. And Simpson's lost the handle, he's got it back to the Spartans. Timeout called by Coach Cook. It is 4:14 remaining in the first. And that will be a 1 foul, 2 foul, and 6-all here for the SBL game of the round. While we have a bit of a break here, we'll run through the last game for the Kings, who lost 85-74 to Clarence last week. Nichols had 20 points, obviously absent tonight. Simpson had 16 and Pawson had 13. Meanwhile, in the Spartans' last game, they defeated the Southern Wolves 86-70. Terry, again, absent tonight with 30 points. Jack Stanwicks with 17 and Brad Tuffin with 10. Last time they played one another, it was the Kings getting the win, 85-63. Lucas Simpson with 29 points, Nichols with 18 and Pawson with 10, while Masunda had 22 points, Stanwicks with 15, Heather with 10. As we return to action, we'll see Stanwicks inbounding the ball from Pawson. Pass the ball out to Tuffin. Back to Smith, looking to score here. Against Clapsis to Jack Stanwicks. Needs to get a basket, needs to get warm. Some smooth handles. Good drive, good finish. Inbound. Smith playing some full court D here. That's still out of trouble, no problem there. Out to our friend Mason, known as Breznak. Collapses the ball fake out to Simpson. He needs to fake that to about 17 feet. He's missed. Boyd Heather with a big rebound, playing crucial defensive rebounding role here so far. Like water off the duck's back. Meanwhile, we haven't. There we go. Good rebound there again. Just adding Jack Stanwicks 2 points to the system. We have an 8-6 game, no doubt about that. Liza's let go and he's about to build room if he's going to continue to shoot like that. Tuffin continuing down the floor, 3:03 remaining in the quarter. They're just going to pass it around, look for a shot here. It's just good hesitation dribble. Stanwicks with the hard drive and a big foul. That'll be 2. Foul looks to be on Clappis, and it is. So that will send Stanwicks to the line. Checking into the game is Billy Uraki for the captain, Mason Breznak. And while Daniel Saville looking to check in the game here for Brad Tuffin. It'll be Stanwicks to the line for 2:56 remaining in the first. And the boys on the Kings bench and the Spartans bench both looking reasonably confident. Early days and a low scoring affair as Jack makes the first. As we quickly look at the best players for the Spartans so far this season, it's been Masunda with 21.4 points per game, Stanwicks with 17.4 as he makes the second free throw, and Liam Smith at 11.4 a game. Up the floor to Billy, passed it over to Simpson, and a bit of a motion offense there. Butchers will regain the ball. Van Sant, the bad boy teacher from 3 weeks ago. Ball fake to Simpson on Heather. Facing mid-range, good! Simpson is on fire. We've got him for 6. It's probably only 4, but it doesn't matter. That's the score. 8-10. We have 2:30 remaining in the second quarter. First quarter even. Saville on Bill. He's had a haircut. Has he got a real job? We don't quite know. Smith has kicked it out. That is a lovely jumper from Matty Crawford. Checking out the game nicely there. That's his first buckets of the game. It's 8-12, and that's probably the biggest margin of the game so far. Simpson on the outer. Good roll by Clapsis. Lovely move. Good finish. He's been hit hard. They're looking for the travel that isn't being called. Coach Stanwicks not happy on the bench with a death stare. He did take probably 2 steps without a dribble. Wasn't called. Doesn't matter. He's gone to the line for 2. 2:01 remaining in the first, and it's the Spartans. Yes, it is the Spartans at the moment. Not by much. Clapsis makes the first. I actually forgot to add in Stanwicks 2 free throws. Clapsis with the first, having a beautiful game so far. He's made both. Only got to see here. Beautiful pass down there to Crawford, to Heather. Goes out of the low post to Smith, who gets the easy drive down the lane. That's open to Stanwicks. He's taken off from the 3. Bang, he's nailed that. That is a 15-10 margin at 1:45 remaining. That is a better start here for Jack, who struggled early. There's no doubt about that. Simpson on the wing to Heather, as we mentioned, a highlighted matchup so far. Pawson needs to get himself into this game, needs to stop being so streaky if the Kings are going to win it. Simpson will get back to the basket, move, good pass. Foul was normally there, not called. Pawson isn't going to argue with it, clearly off him. Only 1:23 remaining, it's 15-10 to the Spartans. Looking for revenge for last time, a 22-point defeat of At the hands of the Kings, certainly looking to get their revenge. That's a foul on Pawson. Didn't get the call down the other end. The foul's going to go away to Stanwich. And that's going to be a substitution. It looks like Mason Bresnak coming back into the game for Pawson, who checks out having not hit the score sheet so far. Bit of confidence there from the Drinks boy. Saville with the up fake, looks to get to the middle, gives the Stanwich some screen action. Can't quite get the drive he wants. Good handles, good drive. Was hit and fouled and won. That score is definitely good. That foul's gone on to Mace. And a 17-point lead looking to blow out here early in the first. This could spell trouble if Stanwich continues to warm up like this. And it's rimmed out. That's bad boy teacher with the rebound, Van Sant, the collapses. Driving up Smith, just came across a little hard there, that's a foul. And that will put both sides in danger of going into the penalty here. With 58 remaining, it's 10-17. Clock has just started a little late, that's all right. Coach Cook not too impressed with his efforts so far. Van Sant at the top of the key. Another by Crawford, they collapses, calls for a pick, gets the pick, doesn't use it, fakes the screen. Glenorchy out to Simpson, who's open for free. Boyd in his face, he's missed that. Stanwich will rebound. And you've got to see they're going for probably a quick 2 for 1 here if they get the chance, but it's looking very unlikely. Boyd have the court tight in the corner to Smith. Out the wing. Crawford just caught that ball very easily. He's missed that. Glenorchy with the ball to Simpson, and that's going to be one shot only, you'd think, for the Kings. Unless they rush their offence. But Clatchis is going to slow this down. They're all going to push to the baseline, and we're going to see what he can create from here. 8 seconds on the clock. 17-10. Loses the dribble, regains it. Pick and roll by Simpson. Uses the hesitation, the dribble, the drive, the floater, the score, the miss, the rebound, the basket. And Sam finishes the quarter on a high. It's 17-12 quarter time in favour of the Spartans, but that is a big momentum boosting play at the end of the quarter for the Kings. And we'll be right back to the second quarter action after this. Yeah, message from the sponsor. Could you bring me in a bottle of Coke, please? Wouldn't mind a drink if anyone could get me a drink within earshot. Thank you very much. Please and thank you is required as we have a quick rundown. Van Sant scoring the last 2 points of that quarter, sees him with 2. Collapses with a decent start to the quarter with 4, while we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points to Lucas Simpson, leading all comers there. As we look for the Spartans, 2 points to Jack Marston in the first quarter, as well as 2 points there to Matty Crawford. We've got 4 points to Liam Smith, and a big night so far for Jack Stanwich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points to start the quarter after what was a very slow initial start by the son of the Spartans head coach. He's looking a bit more relaxed now that they managed to get back into the game. And while Coca-Cola and the Sports Centre provided me with my beverages tonight, thank you very much. I'd also like to give a shout out to Richard Vanderkamp, who has kindly donated me some clothes after a wardrobe clean out. I'm certainly not going to complain about that. I mean, best things in life are free. Shout out to the girlfriend after the 90-hour bonanza of a trip we had over to the mainland as the second quarter's about to get underway. And again, the usual shout outs to all friends and family. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Couldn't have asked for a better day. As we start the second quarter, Dolliver catches the ball high, back into the game to Simpson. Kingborough looking to get an early opening basket here. Strassman into the game. Dolliver asks for the cut, gets it from Billy, doesn't quite use it. Catch him 2-on-1, Billy gets in the corner, and the pass was there, not quite. As we look, Simpson looking to score to Dolliver on the high post, probably got fouled, didn't. Pass to Smith, and he's gone the outbounds pass to Stanwich. He's looking to score, and he does. Another 2 points to Stanwich early in the second quarter. Low ball to Simpson. Palms that ball. 2-on-1. Got to pass out early. Gets a step back. Kicks it out to Noah, who stepped out of bounds, unfortunately, for the young fella. And that is going to be the Spartans' ball. It's 19-12 early here in the second quarter. Stanwich brings the ball up the floor. Again, a 9-point first quarter. What can he do here in the second and for the rest of the game? He's kind of looking to pass, looking to score, but he needs that good entry pass. Doesn't get it. As off the steal is our friend Bresnak. Glenorchy kicks it out to Simpson, who gets the drive. Saville into the spot. Doesn't matter. That's a score for the big fella. He's been their key component this year with Nichols, and you can see why. Simpson with the 2 points there as the Spartans bring the ball up the floor to Saville over to Stanwicks. Back to Smith. 5 remaining on the shot clock. Stanwicks looking to score, probably a carry he got away with, then gives it to Smith, who just fires away. He's missed it. That is a shot clock violation. There's some good defence there by the Kings. As we sponsors have returned, thank you very kindly to the sponsors, and my cameraman here, Scotty Boucher for the Coke. It's 14-19. Oh, I got held up. We've had a line, don't worry, I got held up last week too. Shout out to Bendigo Bank, whom I will be receiving a new card off momentarily. Simpson has charged into him. No flop call, but that's a basket. No foul call either by Crawford. Simpson's just scored at will there, don't worry about that. And, no flop warning there with ref appreciation round, no players arguing. Saville with a 3!
It's the haircut.
It has to be the haircut, because it's certainly not the fact that he went to year 11 and 12 with me, but nonetheless. Better haircut, he's got better facial hair, what more can you want? Step back by Simpson into a double team. Noah Strathmore on the drive. Down to Mace, who's kicked it out to Dolly, who's just gone early. Don't worry about that. That is a Spartan turnover as the camera focuses in on our friend wandering across the baseline. 7:30 remaining, it's 22-16 as Paulson's gone back to the bench for a sub. He's going to be checking into the game here. Yeah, you're right. Boyd Heather checking out of the game there, and into the game there comes our friend Marston. Speaking of Marston, we send our best wishes to Sarah as the steal quickly has been taken by the Kings. Now on the drive has scored on Smitty. Beautiful finish. As I was saying there, we give our best to Sarah Marston, who's battling a crippling knee injury at the moment, and hopefully she gets well very soon. As Paulson scored the 2 points there, no doubt about it. Back to Crawford, who's missed. Rebound there by Bresnak, and he's looking to continue the ball down. Pooey meant to be joining us later on, might be after half time, haven't heard from him at the moment, but hopefully so. Simpson with the spin and the finish and the miss. Rebound by Smith, who was fouled by Simpson, not called, play on. Gives the Crawford back to Smith out at the 3-point line, who's passed it inside. And Marston has scored. He's wanting the elbow, but the elbow was not called. I didn't see it personally. That is a good score by Marston as we come into the half-court set. Dolliver on the dribble against Crawford with a nice pass under. Look at Simpson with his 6th point already this quarter. And the steal, they paid the steal, but it doesn't matter. Crawford was there to garner possession. 6 minutes remaining, and Smith on the drive has passed down to Saville again. To Dolliver, we've got a 2-on-1 here. Strasser on the ball with a nice pass, a good steal there. Looked a little ginger on the stoppage, managed to pull away with it. And you can see Stanwicks. Isolation dribble, wants to go to the hoop, does, off the fingers, good finish. That's his 11th point of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry, we're going to catch this quickly. Elijah's missed, but that's a rebound by Dolly, and he's going to be over the line for 2. Substitutions have been called. Yo, hang on a second. We've got a guest at the commentary box for the mass substitution. There we go. Oh, he's on the bench. He's on bench duty, that's why he's not here. Well, there you go. Pooey's not here, he's on bench duty. The suspended Pooey after violating some codes of conduct as a coach. He would have joined us in the commentary box, but he's been banished to the bench as Dolliver makes the basket. Unsure whether he made both. That's a timeout though. And that's going to the Spartans. It'll be 26, 21, 26 with 5:27 remaining in the second quarter. As Dolly had only actually made one of those free throws. Meanwhile, as we double check here, we've had 4 points to Stanwich, 9, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23. It is correct, 26-21 as we look. Simpson pouring in another 6 points for the quarter. He's doing well. 2 points also to Elijah Pawson. Meanwhile, Daniel Saville with only the 3, took one, made 1 of 2, not a bad effort there, 50%. As I mentioned, Jack Marston with 2, while Jack Stanwicks has 4, which puts him up to 13. A game high at 13 points there for young Stanwicks. As we can see, the young water gentleman down there really supporting the team in his booty, keeping his head warm and thoroughly enjoying proceedings. As I thoroughly enjoy this Coke. Anyone with a spare bit of bourbon, don't hesitate to come and sponsor us. I love to see some bourbon. Spartans ball on the baseline. Extra cold night here at the Kingborough Sports Centre. It's not a bad idea as the camera's decided to move by itself. And it's not moving by itself anymore. Stanwicks does have the ball, people, for those of you that can't see. There we go, that's better. And I've missed who scored that basket. Unbelievable. While we're working the camera, we've missed who scored the basket. But nonetheless, obviously a successful play from the Spartans. Oh, elbow there by Van Sant hasn't been called. I think the eyes are going to be kept there. Certainly clear from here. Won't worry about the technology. I'll worry about Simpson dropping buckets. That's 8 points in this quarter. And, if I can get a little help there as to who scored, they'll go on to, well, Trey Nichols isn't here. We can't give them to him. That is definitely Marston who scored those ones, no doubt about it. Spare points up here, I'll put them there for the Spartans. It is 23-30. Favourite Spartans by 7. Pawson with a shot. Again, the streaky shooter's missed. Rebound by Tuffin, who runs the floor. Kicks to Marston, who's just pivoted easily. No defence, don't worry about it with a drop-down pass. Tuffin is missed that, and Donovan with the pass out to Pawson. He was guarded by Smith. He got reading last time, showed no hesitation there. That's over the back. No basket, they've called it. Definitely over the back there on Clapsis. He went clean over the top of it, and the call was there. No, it was over the... Lucas, it was over the back. It wasn't a charge, it was over the back. The score should not count because the ball clearly hadn't been released to go over the back. Read the rule book, it's probably what got him in trouble. A couple of weeks ago, on the meantime, Smith's got the inbound past him missed. 3:54 remaining. And, pretty thin bench there for Spartans, but they're getting the job done. It does speak the depth they have, and another reason why they are potentially the favourites. They needed someone there, wasn't there. Jack with the ball, doesn't matter, that's good. Stanwich with another 3 points. Patches us up the court to Van Sant. He's not throwing any elbows in this pace. Crawford looking to guard Simpson low. Pawson on the drive has fouled, and that'll be 2. Fouled there by Marston, and they're going to go into huddles. I really don't understand sometimes the concept of a huddle on a free throw. It's a virtual timeout, yes, but at the same time, what are you going to do in the next 30 seconds that really can't be arranged verbally prior to the last shot? So that's Pawson, and he's missed the first. And again, streaky shooter, young Pawson. Certainly a talent to watch.
Struggling after last night's big AYC victory in the Division 1 men's grand final.
As we can see there, thank you to our Ash Tour of the Kingborough Sports Centre. Scotty Boucher there, they did manage to get the win, I saw that. Played a hell of a game from what I can gather.
Well, the way they carried on, this would be a bit of a letdown tonight, really.
Smith down the lane to Marston, who was scared by Dolly. Thought he was going to get one of those dreaded technical flop things, whatever they were. A Smitty's fired away and gone bang! That's his first basket and first points for the quarter. 3:03 remaining. It's 36-24. A 12-point game for the Spartans. Stanwich couldn't quite control that one. As we look for the sub here, group substitution. Pawson not the sub. He's actually passing the ball in. And that's as the big fellas go off. Dollar and Simpson come to the bench while sees Crawford come to the bench for Heather. Waterboy there looking a bit excited, wanting to get in on the action, just wasn't going to be quite selected by Coach Cook. Surprisingly though, Van Sant releases, misses. Good ball fake there by Marston. Stanwich to bring the ball up. 2:43 remaining here in the first half. Stanwich in the isolation drill, gets past Pawson with ease. Down to Boyd Heaven on the short corners, missed, rebound by Strasmer. Collapses. Goes into some collapsing D, who's given it to Pawson, who's nailed it. Here's where that streakiness comes in handy. Can hit them. That's a good save, and that's a good bit of defensive pressure. Marston, blocked by Strasmer with a foul. Bench is up and about on that one, not quite. That's the foul that's being called. Makes the first, misses the second. Stanwich again, probably landed out of bounds, got away with it. Coach Cook can't believe how fast he's gone. That lob ahead, and a clean steal by Pawson is against Boyd, who's just put a little bit of pressure on. He's lost the handle, he's kicked it out of bounds. Certain members of the community can't believe that, but that's alright. Those certain members of the community need to believe. Toughened to Heather to Smith. Gives it to Stanwich, he's not afraid to shoot. He is on fire. Get a body on him. He's poured in the points once again this quarter. He's been the decisive difference. It's 40-27. The Kings really have to do something about this. Didn't travel, got the steps. Calls for a screen, calls for a cut. No action from it whatsoever. Fakes the screen. It's the second time he's done it. He's been hooked. That foul there on Tuffin. As we quickly look just for a score update here, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points to Stanwich, 19 for the game so far. He's having a hell of an effort here. Glenorchy to Van Sant, the bad boy teacher, out to Pawson. He's taken the three, hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like, and he's nailed that. He's started to really hit a strike here. And again, going to be key for the Kings if they're going to win this game. And that's an inside score to Heather. That makes it 42-30. That's Pawson, who's responded with a 3 attempt of his own. And Heather with the 2 points. I'm going to put that in the system. His first 2 points for the quarter. Smith to the pass to Stanwich again. Hasn't seen a shot all night. He doesn't like it. He's nailed that one as well. My goodness me, is this kid going off. 45-30, 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. And it's not looking positive down there on the Kings bench. I think we're going to need to see some high-low action from the big fellas in order to win this game. Van Sant to Pawson again. Hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like, and there's another one. He wanted it, didn't take it, gives it to Van Sant. He's missed the pass, and that's turnover. The Spartans playing a tremendous game here with very limited bench. And, I just think tactics have to change here in order for the Kings to get the win. Smith on the isolation to Stanwich, the hot hand, who just gained freely, wants to pass to Boyd. Heather gets it. He's missed. He gets the rebound though, and he scores there. Heather with 4 points down the quarter, 5 seconds remaining. We've got to get a score here. He's fouled. And that will be that way. That means that we have 3.3 remaining on the clock. Kings ball, Glenorchy to inbound. Strasmer with a screen. They're giving it to collapses. He's got a shoot. He's taking too long, but he's just got it off. Doesn't matter. That's a block. The score won't count that at half time. For all of you wanting regular score updates, it is 47-30. And we'll take a short break here as we quickly tally up the points and make sure we're reasonably even with the scorers bench. We'll just check there. Pawson had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points to Pawson in that quarter after a big deuce in the first quarter. That's 9 to the half to him. Nothing from Bresnak so far. Nothing from Glenorchy so far. Guy Paramore not here tonight, so obviously nothing from him so far. Claps for 54 in the half. And that 4 coming in the first quarter. Noel Strathclyde yet to get into the game. He scores at the half. Dan Sant, bad boy teacher with just 2 points, while Greg Dolvers hit the solitary free throw after actually not scoring in the first quarter. Meanwhile, we've got our Uber Eats advertisement playing in the background. Johnson Morgan not in the game. But Lucas Simpson clearly the high point man for the Kings with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points.
Chicago in 1949.
Lovely bit of advertisement there. So 8 points to Simpson in the second quarter, 14 for the half. Again, no Nichols in this game, conspicuous by his absence. And Aidan McKenzie yet to hit the scoreboard for the Kings. Meanwhile, we have Daniel Saville who banged 3 points in the second quarter. His scores in the first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points to Marston, having a bit of an impact down the pause. We've got 3 points there to Liam Smith, no doubt about it. We have 4 points to Boyd Heather after going scores as our friend Pooey has entered the broadcast booth. Meanwhile, Jack Stanwicks has gone absolutely ballistic with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 second quarter points. 22 points in the first half, and we have two unaccounted points, which we're going to reward to Brad Tuffin, the only bloke that hasn't hit the scoreboard there for the Spartans. Who you've just joined us. We thought that your penance for suspension was on the bench for duty tonight. What are you doing up here in the commentary box?
I've just been down watching the Hobart Phoenix versus Southern Wolves game. Chad Payne's got 25 points for the half. We've probably about 6 threes, I think, roughly. And Cal Barker started off really well in the game, had 12 points in the first quarter, and just got 14 at the half. So Hobart trailed by 3 points at half time.
A very tight game indeed, perhaps one of which we should have broadcast. Instead, we were very tight consideration as to what we were going to cover this round, but it was the Kings and Spartans that were drawn out of the hat of fairness.
We changed games at half time, of course.
Jesus.
Chad Payne probably still on a high, just like Elijah from last night after that euphoric and unexpected victory at AYC.
Indeed.
16 and 14 is 30, we've definitely got that right. The 2 unawarded points have now been dealt with. Marston with a big shot. He's starting to really get into the game here, young Jack. Was quiet in the first quarter with just a singular bucket, but that now moves him up to 9 points, and he's looking really good. Dolly down low, wants the hook, doesn't get it. Probably over the back wall to Smith, right away with it.
So no imports are playing tonight for any of the teams.
No imports and no star players, as Terry's also out for the Spartans. And as we mentioned, it's very inconspicuous to see Dolliver out there. It was not suspended despite the ejection last week per FBL rules, but nonetheless he's out there making a difference. Probably a walking screen, not called. Thrown to the ground was Clapsus, no call there. Missed by Bresnak, no call there either. And he's defended well, gets the step around Marston, he's back that nicely. That's just a good pass to come out of it. Very cold night out there, 6 people in the stands as evident. We're well rugged up here in the commentary position. We've got beanies, we've got 500 layers, we also got a man sitting here in a t-shirt, and I really don't know how. Bresnak to Paulson again, hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like. He's gained the ball back. Hot on his heels is Stanwicks, out to Simpson. Interesting matchup with Boyd tonight, certainly got the better of Boyd so far. Although the rebounding battle certainly, no question, to Boyd as Stanwicks comes out up the floor. Nice backdoor cut, Stanwicks. That's one of the first shots he's missed for about the last 3 years. Been on fire this last quarter. Nice ball fake. Fouled, and that'll be 2. From what you've seen of this game so far, Pui, what do you see both teams need to do on as far as execution is concerned?
Obviously, the head of Kingston's been cut off tonight without Trey Nichols out there. Obviously, they rely on Trey to create and score heavily. I think that also gets people like Elijah open in transition, and also gets that he can create for the bigs. Both Simpson and Dolliver are both agile as bigs, but I'm not sure if it's going to work if you have two bigs out there at once. Obviously, guarding Marston and Bird's more a perimeter. Four-man, you'd say, so you have to pay for them to maybe throw out a bit of a zone, but make sure you're playing like a 3-2 zone so you can get out to the shooters of Boyd and Smith and also Heather. So here's a transition basket for Elijah. Maybe this will be the sort of thing that gets them going. It's only a 13-point game in the third quarter, so I mean there's plenty of time for, and there's an errant pass. There's good hustle. There's a 3-on-1.
There we go. Surely a timeout. No, not a timeout called by Brendan. The 6 unanswered points very, very quickly. As we've seen, Mace finish that one off there. That's a foul call.
Realistically, the bigs from Kingston should actually dominate. Lucas is a big left-hander. He can shoot from outside, but once he puts the ball on the floor, he can get all the way to the hoop, and if not, he's going to get fouled. If they can do that and then concentrate on the Dolliver playing the 5 spot and actually just rebounding and picking up the crumbs.
As they've dragged Dolliver away from some sort of confrontation, but talk has certainly gone up. The volume of the game has certainly gone up. There's no doubt about it. Those points have certainly got the Kings on their toes. It's 49-38. Just under 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Smith needing to score. Doesn't really jump much on his jumper. It's more of a set. That's a big rebound by Simpson. He's starting to find his own teammates for it. There's no doubt about it. And that ball's just gone out of bounds. And that's all right. That's a timeout. Stanwix has seen enough. It's 6:41 remaining in the third. It's 49-38. And if you're the coach of this timeout, what are you saying to your men?
I think that wasn't a bad shot there by Liam, but at the same time, if you run, they seem to score a lot more when they run their offenses. It's not really breakdowns for them. It is if there's a loose ball and Jack picks it up and just shoots it from the corner. But overall, when they run their offenses and they get to their spots, that's when they're getting open for their threes, and they're the rhythm threes that they hit and that they're so used to. They've been running the same offenses for the last 2 or 3 years now, and it's like clockwork for them. But when they just break down, I mean, I think Liam might be carrying a bit of an ankle injury there. There's not a whole lot of depth there tonight for the Spartans either. Mind you, the same can be said about Kings. There's not too much depth down there either, so it's going to be a war of nutrition and just see who can actually eke it out. But I mean, 11 points, 6 minutes 41 in the third quarter to go. If I was Kingston, you just keep plugging away, work the ball inside out, look for those open shots if they're out there, but try and get it a little bit higher, low action. And if you get it back to a couple of points by 3/4 time, that's what you want. You don't have to hit a home run straight away. You just got to eat away with it, a basket at a time. Don't try and win it with threes. Don't try and get back that way. Just good transition baskets. I mean, you've seen it a few times here with the guys from Kingston have actually got a few rebounds, and Glenorchy Spartans may look a little bit tired as well in transition.
Student analysis there by Pui certainly has the Tsar Mike Fratello covered from the NBA on NBC days, as we see Smith inbound the ball. Again, they seem to be playing that high Archangel offense. Stanwix certainly had a good first half. He's struggled to get in here in the second half, but nonetheless he also did that in the first quarter. The offensive fouls on the ball. It's the hustle plays for the Kings, slowly getting them back into this game. And you certainly can't question the heart and determination of the young players on this Kings side.
They're aggressive, they get up and in. Hopefully, to see there's Simpson. Every time they seem to just try to get a little bit closer, there's those soft turnovers, like they want that through just out of half court, just a couple of possessions going, and then something like that. That's the sort of plays that kill you.
And the Kings last week proved themselves costly with fouls, and you'd hate to think that turnovers are going to cost them this week. But certainly putting the pressure on. They're playing looks like to be a trap, some trapping zone. Stanwix with a floater, he's made that one. And that puts him back on the scoreboard. 24 points here for Jack Stanwicks. It's 51-38, 5:50 remaining, and I mean, hell of a game. They're just giving him the left side. He's taken it. He's going to be rewarded with free throws here, young Clapsis, and they've got to make these if they're any chance. Free throw shooting has proved costly to a lot of teams this year, as it looks like Saville's about to re-enter the game. And that will be for Smith, who comes to the bench. He doesn't look too happy.
Yeah, I think Liam Moss had at least 3 fouls, possibly 4. So
yeah, he's looking a little bit in trouble. Is young Brendan there just talking to the ref in regards to a call, but there is no doubt about it. He's certainly got to be in foul trouble. Clapsis makes the first. He's got to make this one here, bring it back to 11 points. Still a long way to go in the game. He's made both. Something that you like to see fundamentally from your players is making foul shots. Certainly works on them.
There's no excuse for missed foul shots. It's the easiest shot in the game. No one's guarding you, and
It's free for a reason.
very true. You've got to earn it sometimes, though.
Oh, absolutely, but I mean, that's another thing helps work in your shooting. That's the outside shot missed there by the Spartans. Clapsis back down the floor. 1-on-1. Stanwick's looking frustrated on D. He wants to get to the basket. He's got the pass there, and that's a foul.
Too many dribbles.
Oh no, that's a turnover. And that's a technical.
There we go again.
We've had a technical foul on Lucas Simpson. It's not the first time he's been teed up. He's not happy with it. He can't believe it. And that's going to see young Stanwicks go to the line. That one was definitely a verbal. There's no doubt about that. He's not happy with it. But this frustration certainly can't happen for the Kings as Stanwicks make the shot. I mean, especially with Simpson being their leading scorer this year along with Nichols. And that frustration you just can't allow it to boil over. He'll come back in the shot. Daniel Saville back in, gets the drive. Not a bad floater by young Daniel. That's missed. Still in the game here, the Kings, there's no doubt about it. They just can't afford to miss. Dolliver down low. Guarded by Crawford. Saville is there, and that is the Spartans' ball.
Kingston just seem to be forcing the ball too much. 3 out of the last 4 or 5 plays have just had unneeded turnovers in that sort of situation.
And not only unnecessary, I think too, one thing that doesn't help with the unnecessary turnovers, is they clarify the reason why that's been called.
I'm not sure. I thought it would be the coach's job to talk to the referees, not the water boy.
Yes, well, as we said, it's amazing what clubs do here in the SBL by allowing the young people to get involved, and the water boy just doing the rounds and the messaging there. For the Kings, they seem, they're only down by 12, but their frustration's certainly building. I mean, as we've just talked about there, turnovers proving costly. I think they've just got to get back to basics. Make that basic pass. Don't try and throw an outlet to a player that's not watching. At the same time, I think the Spartans are weathering the storm reasonably well. Just a little bit of work to be done, no doubt about that. I mean, as we sit here in the timeout, 4:50 remaining in the third quarter. It's 52-40, and we're looking at a very interesting final 5 minutes here in the third quarter.
If you're Kingston, you need to really keep that scoreline under the 62, 64 point mark by 3/4 time. You don't want Glenorchy to get out there and just get running and start racking up points. If they've got 70 odd points at the end of this quarter, then the game can almost be done. You need to play good solid defence now for the next 5 minutes, tidy up your offence, and it should look after itself.
They're going into 1-2-1-1 here. Looks like they're going full court trap. And Spartans work the ball up nicely here. Out of this trap, would you like to see them fall? It looks like they're falling into a 1-3-1. What would you ideally like to see them fall into, probably considering?
Yeah, I'm not sure the zone is really worked too well for them.
That was an open lane. He's been fouled on the drive.
You know, they've looked at zone twice now down the court, and someone's split them right down the front door each time, and that's unforgivable. You don't ever give up the front door, which is the top of the key there, either elbow marker. You never give that up. And in this zone that they're playing, they've done it twice in a row. If they're going to keep doing that, the game's over.
Tougher misses the first. He's been okay tonight. Certainly not the scoreboard, but certainly passing well as he makes the second attempt. Change the pivot foot there, not called, doesn't matter. Simpson on Heather we've called, and that's another costly turnover as we've talked about. That will be 6 of the last 7 possessions have ended in costly turnovers. Coach Cook looking for the stop now, but I think stops aren't the priority. I think possession is certainly going to be it. 4:23, 53-40 to the Spartans with an underman team. That was a very long inbound to Heather. Back to Saville. On the dribble, looking to go wide. Hit the Stanwicks, who gets the drive. Changes hands on the step back to the 3. He's made that. He's had a hell of a game. And there's no exception there. That gives him his 6th point of this quarter. In 28. A barge there, no call, doesn't matter. That's a score to Simpson. So that will give him 4 points in the quarter. Question being asked to the umpire. Pass there to Boyd Heather. He's going to pull up. Back to Stanwicks. Boyd Heather.
So I'm not really sure what...
Bang!
I understand the idea of why they have Lucas out top for his wingspan, but at the moment it's just not working for them. I'd move someone else at the top of the key, one of your guards, and have Lucas in the middle there of that. If it's a 1-3-1, have Lucas as a shot there at 3-corner by Elijah. Hopefully he can get something going off that, but that 1-3-1 is just not working from positionally because Lucas is gassed at the moment. He's struggling.
You can see him taking a few, you can see him taking the deep breaths. Seems he has a little bit of a cramp going there. Heather, the ball. Out to Saville. Saville, not a bad 3-point shot when he gets going. He's made that one. He's 2 or 4 from deep. And the Spartans just seem to be able to pull a few points out here or there. Cold tonight, Stanwicks in the hood. Simpson with 3, he's missed. Good box out there by Crawford to Saville. And the Spartans just in control, keeping calm in this game. They've got the lead by 16. It's either a double dribble or a foul to foul. That will be their 4th, and anything after that will definitely be a bonus. Coach Cook visiting the bench there for a moment. It's not. Okay, that is a sub. They'll be mastered in the game for Boyd. Had a hell of an impact on the glass so far. Looking to do the same again upon re-entry. Backcourt inbound there by Stanwicks. Manages to try and get away from Pawson. Gathers the ball. Working to a double team. He's thrown it round his back, I don't know how. Marston. At Crawford, he's doing the drive.
Again, there's that penetration down the front door. I get out of the zone, it's killing them. If they're going to start relying on 3s, that's the 3rd attempt in 3 possessions. And 1 out of 3, this lead's going to blow out real quick.
Paulson's missed. Jack wants that. He's missed that. It's just a good clean steal. That'll be a Spartans ball. A lot of cold men on that Kings bench. I think he's not going to be handy going into this last quarter. 18 points, 2:06 remaining, 63-45. The speed of that, and Biraki heads to the bench, asks for a sub. Sub will capture the ball again. He's just let go like it's nothing. He's missed that. That's a rebound. Simpson.
So Scott, what sort of implications will this potential loss here for Kingston have on the ladder?
I think they were sitting 3rd heading into this round. Spartans were sitting on top, so they will just solidify a top spot. Kingston obviously will be, depending on results next door as well. If Hobart get up or go down.
Lovely pass. Resnack to Simpson.
Loss for the Kings is not ideal if Clarence keep winning. Clarence have struck a vein of form at the moment, won a few games in a row. Beat
Kingston with the backdoor part and the score.
Great cut there by Daniel.
1 minute remaining, 48-65, 17 points to the Spartans. They're going to look to hold this lead. Another costly turnover. They've had a couple. Van Sant wanting the ball, not quite getting it his way. But a very interesting third quarter here. We've seen it blow out. Stanwicks again the high point man for the Spartans. Meanwhile Simpson still doing the job, but just not quite enough. Elijah chipping in. Stanwicks with another long shot. He has been absolutely on fire tonight. Give the man the 3 votes. There's no doubt about it. He's absolutely dominating this game. And considering the rough start he had to both halves, it's unbelievable just what he's doing. Simpson pulls up from 3 and goes bang. He responds hard. They want to push hard here. With 21 seconds remaining. So we're being pressured. To Tuffin, who gets just over the line. He charges down the lane. Good save by Mace, but it doesn't matter. 13 seconds remaining. 68-51. It's a 17-point ball game. And by no means is the game over, but I mean, the Spartans are certainly going to look to seal it early in the last quarter. There's no doubt about that. Step-in shot there to Marston on the short block. He's missed that. Simpson up the court, 6 seconds remaining. Pushing hard, he's really tired. Oh, he's managed to get through himself, the big fella. Good finish. He just held the ball out there. Simpson finishes strongly. And as we look, it is 53-68. It is a 15-point ball game. That's a lot of momentum for the Kings to head into the last quarter with. Paul, your thoughts on the third quarter and certainly how you see it unfolding in the last?
I just think the Kings need to get out of that zone. It's been terrible for them. They've given up so many layups or fouls down the front door there, as I keep stressing. Offensively, they can't rely on that 3. They've got to tidy up their ball handling and their passing. It's all fundamental stuff. It's mental stuff. Simpson can take people off the dribble. He's left-handed, so he's got that advantage, and he's agile. So they need to be running some plays where he can take people off the dribble, and then the spot-up shooters are there for him. Or start running some backdoor stuff. Elijah Clausen, he thrives off that backdoor play, or just getting stuff in transition. So overall, I think they've just stagnated too much. The ball sometimes can stick in people's hands too much, and too many dribbles. It's costly. Glenorchy aren't doing anything exceptional. They're just giving what the Kings give them, and obviously that's too much for them. They got it back to 11 points, I think, but it keeps eking back out to 15, 18, 19 points. You're not going to win a game like that. The knock on Kingston for years has always been they've never had a proper point guard. They've had that this year, luckily enough, with Trey. But tonight, someone's got to take a hold of this. They're putting Billy and Baraki and Noah Strasmer out there. Hopefully, you've got a bit more athleticism out there. If those guys can get on the boards and get some offensive boards and defensive boards, but they've got to make sure that they play the D and not turn the ball over.
As we look quickly through the top scorers there, Simpson top scoring for the quarter with 11. Paulson loads of 3 and makes it. Big start to the fourth quarter here for the Kings. Just quickly as we go back through that, Simpson with 11 points for the Kings. Solid defense there. But the top was open. Like a steam train, he's missed. A la Patrick Ewan versus Reggie Miller and the Pacers in 95. That's a shot that Billy needs to take it. He's hesitant, he's taken it, he's missed, and that's offensive foul. Lucas isn't very happy with that. The foul was there.
That's not Billy Baraki's game. You keep moving that one until you get that open shooter that is the shooter.
Just quickly there, top scorer for the Spartans was Stanwicks with 9 in that quarter. That's 9, 13 and 9, bringing him to 31 points in the quarter. Paulson hasn't seen a shot he doesn't like. He's taken that one, he's missed.
Too quick.
Saville with a big rebound. He's played a crucial role off the bench here for the Spartans. Nothing too exciting, but he's doing the dirty work. He's getting it done. 68-56. It is only a 12-point ball game in the Spartans' favour. Saville with the drive. We've just talked about the man. He's finished strongly.
Ball rotation defence there. Ball help there on the baseline by collapses.
He's managed 2 points early. That's a 14-point ball game. Strasman at the top. Out to Buraki, hesitant. Certainly not what you need in a game like this. Pawson. Out to Simpson. To Klatsis, who's out at 3. Goes the drive, goes low. To Simpson. Needs to get the ball out. Got the hook, doesn't like it. Pawson is there. Pawson's been open for 5 days. Wasn't given the ball. Giving it late, and that's a turnover. Sorry, that was Buraki who I was confused with. Simpson comes to the bench, he's frustrated. Dolliver checks in. And The Spartans looking quietly collected at the moment. Was it Crawford? No, sorry, it was Tuffin inbounding the ball to Saville. Stanwich on the drive. Gets the easy, don't know what he's done there. Should have been a travel, not called, it's a foul. Don't know what's happened. Lucas Simpson is going to get himself in trouble here if he does not be quiet and would be facing an ejection. He nearly got it last week. He was teed up last week, but he will certainly get another one this week if he's not careful.
I think everyone's teed up last week.
Well, let's not get into that. As Stanwich tries to get rid of the shot. I believe the total over-under on those Portsmouth lights. That foul will be on Stanwich. So I believe the over... Actually, that one was given... Was it on him? Or was it given to... I actually think that might have been given to Tuffin as Liam Smith looks to check into the gut. For Daniel, who's played a hell of a game, hell of a gut effort, really good and pleasing to see for the Spartans, particularly for a guy who's a really, really solid reserves player and, you know, someone who's stepping up to the seniors. Platt just takes that three and he's missed. Yeah, I think the over-under on technicals and unsportsman's light was a total of around 10 last week, Pooey, so, you know, they were pushing in the all lead there. You and Drew Shook just didn't quite get it. But Sam Ewell, the subsequent suspension on there. Luckily, no suspension for Sammy Ewell either.
No suspension for Sammy Ewell.
No suspension for Sammy Ewell. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Marston's finished hard. May I ask why Sam Ewell was not suspended in the end?
Unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike.
An unsportsmanlike attack will not get you. It might get you ejected. It won't get you suspended.
I believe there were 2 unsportsmanlikes from Sammy Ewell. If you go and watch the footage,
Even if there was 2, that won't get you suspended.
okay,
2 attacks will get you suspended.
So 2 technicals will get you suspended, but unsportsmanlike foul, which is rougher and tougher, will not get you suspended. Welcome to the SPL as Pawson gets the ball, and that's a 3.
I think we could argue the rougher and tougher on an unsportsmanlike foul these days.
No comment on there. 73-59, 14-point ball game. 2 technicals there. Note to all coaches, it looks like unsportsmanlike fouls is the way to go throughout the rest of the season.
Still go home early.
Very true. That doesn't matter as Stanwich has made the basket. I've been a little distracted here so far. They haven't scored much this quarter. Very quiet. Perhaps just with the ball and the hesitation to Smith. Kicks it back out to Strasmer, and that's nearly, he wasn't over. That actually wasn't over. I actually am surprised they've called that.
We'll leave that to the Phantom replay
We
camera.
will leave that to the Phantom replay camera, which we shall see very soon. Pooey's just gone on to book some lawyers up and argue a case, as you can see there. Pooey, early on in this quarter, how have you seen the Kings handling the situation?
Not very well. You know, honestly,
Straight to the point.
Yeah, I understand the substitution to get Noah and Billy in there, but at the same time, they've got to know their role. I mean, Billy's come out and taken 2 quick threes, you know, not within the offense, and it's not his game as such. Billy's an athlete, he's a slasher, and they're just not playing defense. This game's over. It's well and truly over.
78-59, it's a 19-point ball game. You have to suggest we're not far off the mark. Strasser's taken the 3. He's missed that. That's a rebound to Tuffin, who's driven down the lane. Was fouled. Doesn't matter. That's a score. 21 points. I think it is well and truly over. The Spartans are going to get the responding victory here, but questions certainly have to be asked. That's another easy turnover. I reckon with their last 15 plays, 10 have been turnovers. No foul called there. Probably should have been, wasn't it? As Tuffin has scored the ball. Nearly an offensive foul there by Dolliver, not called. He looked like he went to shingle him there. That's falling on his backside. No flop call this week. That's just a good solid screen. It's put Pawson on his backside. He's up. No basket there. And it's getting a bit physical, and the foul has finally been called on Stanwich.
At the moment, Glenorchy are on pace. They'll score over 100 points easily. If Kingston keep coming down, shooting that quick 3, it's coming back down a lot quicker down the other end, and ends up in a quick 2. So this game is going to end up being a 40-point game if they keep going like this.
Well, I mean, as we mentioned there, you'd have to say in the last 15 possessions for the Kings, it's been 10 turnovers, and that's certainly not winning basketball for anyone. 10 turnovers in a half for anyone is a killer, let alone in practically half a quarter.
And when 70% of their shots are 3-pointers,
And they're not going in, mind you. It's not like they're shooting a 50% clip off those threes. They're struggling to shoot a 20% clip. I think Stanwicks has certainly wrapped up the 3 votes. Well, on his first 3 quarters alone, he's managed to bang out what looks to be 1, 2, 3. He's banged out at least 5 points here in the last, almost garbage time at the moment. Simpson's certainly the best player for the Kings, but if I had to go across the board and really look at it, someone like a Damien Saville has played really well, good hustle ball for the Spartans. Someone like a Marston's come in, rebounded, done his job, scored a little bit when he needed to, and someone like a Brad Tuffin also doing a very similar job. I think their depth is certainly something that certainly can't be scoffed at. And where do you rate the Spartans in the overall standings now? Do you see them as the outright favourite, or do you feel someone like your Hobart and your and someone like United can still scare them?
Oh, 100%. United are slowly getting their stuff together at the moment. But, just seeing Kingston here tonight, both sides are pretty evenly matched here tonight as such. And Glenorchy have just stuck with the game plan and just done everything they need to do, and they're ahead of the field by doing that. Now, obviously, you bring back Louis into the side, who gives you another scoring option. Hobart are looking pretty decent. I'm not sure what the scoreline is. I'm going to pop down there in a second, check that out. But with the 2 bigs in Corey and Cal, and Jordan was playing a good game tonight from the assist point of view, and Dwayne made his return tonight. So
Dwayne on the floor tonight?
Yes, Dwayne on the floor tonight. Bit of depth in the team.
My God, I tell you what, with the stretch that the Chargers men are having, you might even get a game there. But if you're going to stretch your floor that much, I reckon you guys are serious.
Nick Amos started tonight. He hit his first 3 3-pointers. Played pretty well. But picked up a few cheap fouls unnecessarily. So I think it's a pretty tight race at the moment. It really comes down to who's on their game on the night. I don't think there's any clear-cut favourite anymore. I think you can, obviously Kings are in the equation when they've got Trey, but when they don't have Trey, they have a chance. And you see here tonight, Glenorchy have given them the business here without their input. So obviously that puts Glenorchy ahead of them considerably. Depends on how United keep playing for the rest of the year and if they can sneak into that 3rd spot. So it's all going to come down to wins and losses, and it's only the top 3 that advance this year instead of the top 4, which will put a bit of pressure on Kingston.
Stanwicks Mason both there. Something like United last week, they proved sticking to the game plan. All incidents aside, they proved last week that it certainly can be done no matter where and when. Strasbourg knocks that one down. But, it's all dependent, so to speak, on the night. It's a balanced comp at times. Other times, obviously, teams get stacked and there's no chance of it. Stanwicks with the baseline open, takes it to the hoop, as it looks like Crew's just going to duck out here to check the score. It's 86-65. This one's certainly a wrap.
I can't watch this anymore.
He's out. He's tossed it. The baby's out with the bathwater. He's gone on a score check, and we'll catch him later. 7-second delay. We'll check that one out, and that's a finish there by the Kings. Points that we weren't able to obtain. Sorry, due to the distraction. We'll get back to that. But we'll give him the mace. Not sure whether he did or not. Doesn't matter. We're back to our man commentary booth. Just how you all love it here on the SPL page. With Bresnak down to Strasbourg. He's been checked out there by Boyd. He doesn't like the call, but it's certainly there. 86-68. 18-point ball game. 3:19 remaining. We've got the substitution. And for the first time tonight, we're going to see Hayden McKenzie check in for Elijah Pawson. Pawson being the streaky shooter. And the high point man here in the 4th quarter has checked out of the game. Meanwhile, we see it looks to be coming out of the game there. Matt Crawford for the Spartans. Grafton catching the ball. Screen by Van Sant. It was checked hard by Marston and was called. That will take him to the line. Both sides into the bonus. And that has to be 2 shots. 3:15 remaining. Both sides into the bonus here. And a couple of questions being asked there by Coach Stanwicks. Had a little bit of verbal tonight, which has been interesting, but no punishment. They just being nice and polite about the situation, as we see Buraki missing the first. Comments from the teammates, he needs to make these. He looked a little hesitant on the 3-point shot, but hopefully he can just relax himself and get some form here on this free throw. Hope is a beautiful thing, and he drops that one. Buraki registering his first point for the game. Interesting to see the stars of the Spartans still on the floor. Would have thought Stanwicks, although then again, actually no, he's lost his touch. He's lost all hope and touch from the teammates, the coaches, lost all the belief on that shot, getting to the bench. Aiden McKenzie gets the ball out high.
The update from next door, Hobart Phoenix up 94-70 with 2 minutes to go.
Okay, so another bit of a blowout there in the men's. A blowout all round this week in SBL action. Be interesting to see what our Ghost Rider from Mercury has to say. Stanwicks just, the hesitation dribble, don't worry about it. The ball fake, they're down under. That is just good basketball there. Tuffin with a finish. He's had a tremendous last quarter here, Tuffin. Certainly the best effort he's put in all game. Interesting to see. The Water Boy giving us a nice little thumbs up. Great to see the charitable work here with the Kings, letting young ones get involved. Strassman with the face up out to Van Sant. Takes a 17-footer, and that's missed. A rebound there by Tuffin. Again, probably going to sneak into 2 votes here, just for the margin of victory alone. And I think Lucas Simpson taking the one. No question about it. Stanwicks with the 3. Good ball movement. Boyd Hever back down to Tuffin. Goes the face up from the 15. And that was just worked really well. Billy needs to slow down, be confident. He's by himself. And he's finished. Well done to young Bill. He's certainly improved his game since he come back into the squad. It's a 17-point ball game. 148 remaining. And the Spartans are going to look to oscillate this. And he was fouled. But did he step out of bounds? You can't believe it. He's asked Dad what's going on. The ref said, no, I didn't call it. That's all right. As you can see on the bench there, you've got Dolliver, you've got Pawson, you've got a couple of others.
Clapsis and Simpson.
That's it. And you also have Aiden McKenzie. And who's on the score there?
Van Sant.
The bad boy teacher's back on the scoreboard. And that will be his first points since the first quarter. Smith on the drive, has kicked out the board, he stared down the opponent, it doesn't matter. BANG! Remember, that will be his first points since the second quarter, that's a 3. And that's a finish there by Bresnak. That will be his 4th points. Well, that's what we were rewarding him. A minute to go, it's 91-75. Tuffin with the score, fouled and won. Van Sant with a foul, Tuffin with the score. It's certainly over, ladies and gentlemen, and he's had a massive last quarter here contributing to Stanwicks. Yeah, you know, it's sort of been tough. I'm glad that someone like a Daniel got a bit more time. Got there, we've called the boys in the line. Thought we had a technical there.
You don't have to line up. So it's pretty pointless call blowing the whistle.
It is very true. I thought we might have had a technical call. Hello, ACDC's joined us. Bon Scott, where are you? We're back. We're back as Brad Tuffin's knocked in that foul shot. 45 seconds remaining on the drive. Billy with there, he's missed that, and that's another rebound by Tuffin. He's sewed up the 1 for me. They might have even sewn up the 2. We'll look at the scorecard as we go to the end of the quarter. Smith out to Hever, out to Stanwicks, who's got people jumping without even shooting. Got McKenzie on him. Passed out to Smith. Good. Another one. Out to Heather. He's gone the ball fake. Gives it to Tuffin, who hasn't quite finished. That's a rebound by Marston. Played a pretty good game himself. Nice solid contribution from Marston, and indeed all round from the Spartans team. All have played reasonably well. They're going to dribble it out. It's over. 3 seconds. 2 balls on the floor. Don't even worry about it. And the scoreboard is final. It is 96-75 to the Kings, to the Spartans, a 21-point win to the Spartans. Again, reminding you, last game was 85-63. So between the 2 teams so far, we've had a 1-point margin over the last 2 games. Both blowouts nonetheless, but you wouldn't have picked it. So again, 96-75, 5 fouls each. As Pui has rejoined us, you've come back in. We've had the final scores on both sides, both blowouts this week. Pui, what have you seen of all the action so far in this round?
Well, in the Hobart game, versus Wolves. Wolves came out pretty hot from the 3-point line. As I said when I first came into the commentary booth, Chad Payne had 25 points at the half. He ended up with 30 for the game. So Hobart stuck to their structure in the second half. I think they had 46 or 48 points at the half. Ended up with about 96 points. So obviously they got their systems right. And when you start running your stuff properly and start going to the people you need to, unlike this game we just saw just played here, you reap the benefits. And Kingston are quite lucky that Spartans only scored 96 points on them at the end. And you look at the outfit that's out there and you consider if you bring back Louis, obviously there's a few less shots for some of the role players, but they could light a team up like this Kingston for 120, 130 points.
And as we see, finally, just running through scores, top scorers here for Glenorchy saw Stanwix with 40 points, according to our numbers and calculations. We also had Lucas Simpson with 25, Elijah with 20, and Brad Tuffin finishing with 14 points. If I had to go to 3-2-1, certainly the 3 to Stanwix, no doubt about it. 10 points a quarter, came up big in the third when the game was certainly in the balance momentum and certainly started to swing. I think Brad Tuffin was huge for them on the rebounds and certainly scoring when he needed to. Lucas Simpson, I think, was more or less consistent over the first 3 quarters. Didn't score in the last, but was benched for a majority of that. Elijah Paulson didn't do much in the first, but got it done in the following 3 quarters. So certainly hard to try and pick who the one is going to be there. But if I had to do it, it would be Simpson. Although Paulson's points in the last were certainly major factors. So again, recapping, you have Hobart getting the win over the Southern Wolves, and you have a 96-75 margin in favour of the Spartans. That is all for this week here in SBL action. We will see you live next week on Facebook and on YouTube as the SBL continues for season 2018.